Welcome back to Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp. I'm your instructor, Coach Nye. So we're going to jump straight into it. You are not unmotivated. You are in survival mode. You're not unmotivated. You're just in survival mode. And survival mode was never meant to be permanent. We talk about that. I've been teaching that. Survival mode is what was taught to us once birthed into this world, right? We were taught how to survive in this material world, in the world that our parents to make us better, to become the best. You have to do this. You got to follow that. You got to go with this trend. You got to be perfect. You got to do this. When God created us on purpose for a purpose and purpose. And that purpose was to come here and show love. Is to operate in the purpose that the gifts that he gave us. But in order to get to those gifts, you have to heal. So now let's look at it again. You're not unmotivated. You're in survival mode. And it was never meant to be permanent. So let's look at it. What if healing isn't weakness? What if it's not weakness? But what if it's leadership? Healing, a lot of people think healing, you have to have something that went wrong. You have to be weak in this area. You're trying to get stronger. No, healing is getting you back in alignment, getting you back into the purpose that God created you for. And that is, your purpose is a leadership position. So it's not weakness. Healing is leadership. Only the strong can go through healing and come out on the other side leading the pack. Listen, a lot of people think that people have to go heal. They're broken. They're weak. Baby, you're the strong one because that healing journey is not for the faint. Let me explain something to you. When there's the awakening, the dark night of the soul, that healing journey and getting to the other side, you come out stronger than ever. Everything that used to, that social anxiety that you had, that feeling of, I can't do it. This is just too much. I don't want to speak up for myself. I don't want to cause no problem. Baby, when you come out on the other side and you step into purpose. When you step into purpose, that means you're in your leadership position. You wish somebody would. And I'm not saying it in the way of that old mindset, that survival mindset that you got to fight or flight. No, I'm saying that they can't. The enemy can't touch you. They're going to look. They're going to backbite. You don't care what people got to say anymore. You don't care about anything because you understand that you're here for a purpose and you're in purpose. And that means that it's no longer about you. It's about you operating as God. It's God have for you to do, right? You're his vessel. So this is for the ones who are tired of carrying pain quietly. You know, y'all, that's just like, you know what, I go through it. You're used to getting mistreated. That's been happening all your life. You've always had to be the strong one. You can't ask for help and dare you not call someone, the same people that call you 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, let you call them at 3 o'clock in the morning and you tell them how, Billy and Jean is cheating on you and you don't know what to do. Baby, you gonna get cussed out, get called stupid, get towed out the mud. They gonna call the next person. They gonna have you in a group chat. They gonna have you, looking real crazy. They're gonna project all their feelings onto you. They're not going to step in like you stepped in for them. So you have to carry all your pain quietly. I'm talking to you. Baby, we going from survival to healing to purpose. It's time to become whole. As your life coach, as the coach that's here to save the world, that is my job. It's time to become whole, to teach you how to heal spiritually, mentally, and physically. That is what the Trinity of Fitness Bootcamp is all about. It is the foundation of you becoming whole. Survival mode is not a strength. Listen, everybody think it's a flex because you a hustler, baby. You a hustler. You out here, you can get along with this person. You can go to this group. As they say, I get along with this person. I can go over here, get along. I can fit in anywhere. Baby, you're a chameleon. You're a people pleaser. We're not doing that anymore. I'm teaching you how to heal, meaning that you don't have to go fit in with anybody. Everywhere you go, you're comfortable because you're comfortable with being yourself. So survival mode is not a strength. It is an unhealed response formed to protect you during what? Pain, chaos, or neglect. What once kept you alive may now be keeping you stuck. What once kept you alive may now be keeping you stuck. See, they taught you how to survive in this world. And in this material world, to the capacity of only what your mind can even process. So let's talk about it. The hood rich. You hood rich. You never even thought twice of going any further than that. You like, you know what? I'm from Florida. Hollywood, Florida is high enough for me, baby. You never even thought twice about going to the real Hollywood. You never not once thought about making it to be a multi-millionaire, close to billionaire, multi-billionaire, being in Forbes. Where you got stuck at is everybody in the hood know me. I get shown love everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. But you in Florida, now go to Atlanta. No one knows you. You're not going to get that same respect. That's why people do not leave their environment. That is why people do not leave their environment, because they're afraid of having to face truth. Face the truth. But because you are tired of the nonsense. You're tired of the chaos. You're tired of all the carrying the pain quietly. You're tired of all that. You want to heal. I want to get out of my environment. Let me explain to you why you got to get out of your environment. Jesus even had to get out of his environment because all they seen him as what? Oh, that's Jesus from Nazareth. That's Mary's son. You know Mary. No, not that Mary. No, not Mary from that tribe. No, baby, not that Mary. That Mary. That's Mary's boy. Do you understand? He's a carpenter. What is he doing? Shaking the room with all this nonsense, talking about the kingdom of God is within you. That that greatness is within you. Who is he to teach us that it is greatness within us and that we should move out of the low vibration and step into high vibration? Who is he to tell us that? We've been doing this all along. Graining our own wheat to make our own bread. And he talking about you can't be fed by bread alone. Baby, gone, just gone. He been dropped a couple of times. That's just Mary's son. Or you have the ones that, oh yeah, that's Mary's son. That's Jesus, right? But to get to that point of stepping into your purpose and being known for who God called you to be, you have to leave the environment. Because if Jesus would have stayed in that environment, he would have been just that, a carpenter with big dreams. Yeah, everybody in town know him. He cool. But he never would have stepped in to save us all if he never stepped into purpose. His hour hadn't come. And when his hour came, he answered the call and he went on. So the same with you. You're feeling stuck. You feel a type of way. You know that this doesn't feel right anymore. You don't want to be carrying pain anymore. You're tired of your environment. You're tired of this. You're tired of that. You're tired. You're ready to do something. You feel unmotivated. But baby, you're still in the environment of survival mode. That's why you feel that way. So it's time to move around. And that's what Coach Nye is going to teach you. What once kept you alive may now be keeping you stuck. This conversation exposes survival mode as a low vibrational operating system. That is it, in that low vibration operating system, it distorts your identity, your leadership, your emotions, and even your intimacy. It distorts those things because when you're in survival mode, when you're unmotivated, you become low vibrational. You don't want nothing to do with anything. You just sick of it all. You're just like, leadership? No, not me. Just give me a job. Put me in the back. I don't want to be seen, God. You know how y'all been praying to God. God, I want this. But I don't want to be seen. I don't want to have to do no video. I don't want to have to talk. I don't want to have to do a podcast. I don't want to have to do that, God. That's not me. I want to be behind the scenes. Distorting my identity, meaning that I feel like I'm supposed to be doing this. God, I feel pulled to do this, but my mom and them said that I'm just George. I'm just Sarah. I'm just Jean. I'm just Isha. Girl, go sit down. You're doing too much. So now I have to believe that. I have to believe that. So let's talk about survival mode. The unhealed version of you. That's what survival mode is. Let's talk about it. The survival mode is what you were taught to be, who they told you were going to be, who you've been trying to live up to their standards. They said you're going to be a lawyer. When you were birthed, do you understand? They put that curse on you at birth. They put that curse on you at birth. They said, and then they would tell you, you look and act just like your father, just like your mother. You're going to be just like this person. You're going to be just like this person. And everybody that said you was going to be like has done nothing with their life. Nothing with their life. So you believed it and you became nothing. You believed it and you didn't reach your dreams. Oh, you're going to be a lawyer. So you believed it, even though you know you want to be a singer. You can sing real good. You can dance real good. You can do some hair. But they said, what are you going to do? Okay, you go be a lawyer and you can take care of everybody. See, it's a motive behind everything of why they need you to do something, because you got to get the family about the hood. You got to be the one to elevate us, because they have it embedded in your mindset. You have to be the one to break the generational curse. And in their mindset, the generational curse in a survival mode mindset is one of us got to make it and get everybody out the hood. But I'm going to tell you what a generational curse breaker job is. It's not for the people that's here. It's for the people that's coming behind you. Meaning whatever babies you birth and so on, your grandbabies and so on and so on, you've paved the way for them. So when you heal, you've paved the way for them, so they're going to learn how to be the best version of themselves and stand in truth and their truth. Now, the people that's here, they'll see you and they'll think like, okay, what living spring water is she drinking from? Where does she come from? What bread you eating? I mean, I like the way, because at first they're going to dog you out. As you see, she over there a little bit of crazy. He a little bit of crazy over there. But all of a sudden, when they start to see your glow and you move different, meaning that you're not reacting anymore, you're responding, and you're not responding by popping off. You're responding from a heal mindset, meaning that when you see people and they're doing something you don't like, you just disconnect because you don't even deserve my conversation. You allow people and you show people what your worth is, meaning that my energy is my money and my currency. And baby, you are bankrupting me, so you can't be in my space. I'm not spending no money no more on things that are not going to invest back in me. You got to remember, your energy is your currency. So when you put it out, it needs to come back tenfold. And if you got low vibrational people in there, all they're doing is stealing. So no, survival mode. No, we're not doing that. We're walking away from that. We done with this survival mode, because survival mode told us you're going to be a lawyer and I'm living up to a standard, but I know what God called me to be. And I have to figure out how to get there. But survival mode, you went to college, you did all these things because they told you generational curse breaking was for you make it. You made it into football. You made it into the NBA. You made it into NFL. You became a rock star. You became a celebrity hairstylist. You became known for healing people. You became known for all these things because you chose your purpose over what? What others say. Survival mode. Survival mode said, hey, if you want to survive in this world, you got to get this 9 to 5 and you got to work hard. You got to work hard. I need you to take everything you got and pour it into whatever this is, this organization. Everything that you got, I need you to pour it into. That's why some people that die at the job, in the chair, at the typewriter, at the computer. I done took it back to typewriting, at the keyboard. Listen, they died right there. Get rich or die trying, because they never got rich, but they died trying. To what? Break the generational curse of what they were taught was the generational curse breaker, how to bring generational wealth in. All you did was show your children is that, hey, you do not belong to you. You belong to an organization. At one point of your life, you're going to belong to an organization that you're going to pour all of you in, and they're not going to give you anything back. Kind of like taxes. Look at taxes. They take all this money from you and they don't even give you 1% of your money back that they took from you. Do you understand? Look at that as energy. So no. How about, what if you decided to what? The next thing, the healing journey, reclaiming your authentic self. What if you chose to heal? Guess what that healing does? It takes all of you that you were pouring into something else. Now you're taking all of that energy and putting it back into self. Do you understand what that really means? Do you understand how powerful you are? The enemy, while you were working for someone else and pouring into them and giving it everything you got into them, let me tell you what the enemy was doing. Because now you're pouring all of you into that. Now your gate is open in every angle of your life. Meaning that he is able to come in and suck you dry. That's why you start seeing folks that's only 30 years old with bags under their eyes, wrinkles on their face. Baby, they tired. They tired. 20-year-olds looking like they are already about to hit 40 because they tired. They had a rough life. Because the enemy said, pour everything you got into whatever it is other than yourself, whether it's a relationship or a job. But when you start to heal, this is why when people heal, they like, dang, you glowing? Oh, she look good. She gained weight. She look good. It's not because she decided to eat healthy or he decided to do a skincare. It's not because of that. Before you even get to that part, it's your energy back into you. You are now pouring the spring water into you, because when you start to heal, you connect directly to God and you understand that the kingdom of God is within you. So when you are healing, baby, it starts on the inside and then it comes out on the outside. Do you understand? People will look at me like, how do you look that good and you over here eating chili cheese french fries? Don't judge me, okay? Because that's what I eat. They don't understand it has to start in the inside, and they don't understand that I don't overindulge in junk food. They don't understand these things. However, it starts on the inside. I stopped allowing everybody to have access to my energy. See, that's the problem. You have everybody with access to your energy, and that's where the enemy needs you. He needs you. He needs that access. And as long as you are willing to give it up, he gonna take it. Let's look at it like this. You at one point in your life, because now you're healing, so we're gonna look at it. Sometimes you have to say things out loud to really understand it. You would give everybody any and everything. I mean, you would give them everything. Like before you even eat, you starving. You just feel so guilty to sit around somebody and eat, and you would say, hey, y'all want some? You hoping they say no. You hoping they got manners, but they don't. Right? They actually do. But we'll talk about it. And then you offer it and they take it all and they only leave you a little bit. You don't say anything. You eat the little bit, but you leave out and you like, people are so selfish. They so selfish. I would have never done that. Yeah, well, you wouldn't. But let me tell you what really just happened. People look at you like, okay, some think you gullible. Some think you stupid. But some feel like this. Who in their right mind would give away their stuff and they have not fulfilled themselves yet? So that means that you have to be full. If you're offering it, that means you're full. Right? And then when you see that person, they're eating, they didn't offer you anything. Then when they do offer you something, you call it the scraps. Oh, they so selfish. You just sitting here and you eating in front of me and it's scraps and you gonna offer me scraps and I used to do all this for you. No, it's not selfish. It's not being self-centered either. It's understanding that self, he had to or she had to fulfill her needs. See, you just don't know that. Your needs have to be fulfilled first before you can go fill somebody else up. How can I be a life coach and teaching you how to heal, but yet I didn't go heal? Yet I'm still in my mind thinking like all these negative self-talk I'm still giving myself. Yet I'm still running around, is this talking about me? Are they talking about me? I got to compete. I got to do this. I got to do. How? I have not even took the time to pour into myself. So what I want you to do is reclaim your authentic self. Who are you? Who are you? What are you doing here? What is your purpose here? You don't know how to find it? If you don't know how to find it, that means that you don't have a relationship with God. Because that's how you find it. Yeah. But you got to learn to listen, to understand, not to reply. You got to stop going to God, talking to him and telling him what it's going to look like, how it's going to look like. So let me explain how that go. God, I ask that you show me who I am. He shows you he show you a vision of you on a stage with a mic. God, I don't want to be on the mic. I think I'll be better at doing this. I'm real good at doing this. Now you want to negotiate with your father. Let me explain something to you. As a child, did you get a chance to negotiate with your mother and your father? No, you did not. They told you that you were going to be a lawyer and you ran and did it. But when God tells you that you're going to be the voice that he's going to use to touch nations, you like, no, that ain't for me. I should have just went and been a lawyer like my mama said. And now every day your mama looking at you like, I told you. But when you go on the healing journey to reclaim your true, authentic self, you realize, no, I'm glad I didn't listen to her and go be a lawyer. I'm so glad that I chose to stand up in my purpose. I'm so glad I became who God called me to be. I became that. I am so glad. But the healing journey ain't easy. Baby, it's like every day you're going to be on what they call that movie Groundhog Day. It's going to repeat until you learn what? The lesson. It's going to look like you're going to be in a tunnel. You're just going to be in a tunnel, baby. You're going to be walking in that tunnel. You ain't going to see no light in that tunnel. You ain't going to see no light. And then just when you think you're about to see the light, you realize that dang, it's cut off. You started back over in the tunnel. And the healing journey is set up that way because you get the same energy in different people that keep coming. You keep getting tried. Every time you think like, okay, I defeated that Goliath. Here comes the same issue. You keep dating, but you can't keep dating the same women and the same men. They keep coming into your life. Like, what is going on with me? Is it me? What is wrong with me? See, that's the lesson in it, because God needs you to see yourself. Right? When you see yourself and you say, is it me? What's wrong with me? You need to understand there's nothing wrong with you. Right? That's the first part of the lesson. The second part of the lesson is, what is it in you that's attracting that spirit? Remember, in survival mode, your gates are open. You need to figure out what's in me that's attracting that is attracted to me. It's something in me that is saying, hey, this is pretty much what the enemy doing. Hey, come over here. We got a party over here. Come on. The gate open. Come on. She ain't going to find out how to close the gate. Because once you find out what's in you, and usually it's abandonment issues, childhood trauma, right? You realize those things and you're like, okay, let me fix that. I need to fix that. Once you start working on it, meaning that you go back to that childhood trauma, and you remember, get to the point of that moment that you realize that you felt abandoned. All the times that you felt abandoned, now I need you to recreate that scenario, because as a child, you process it as a child, and it's usually a lie because you're a child. You do not understand. You don't have the mindset to process what's happening, so you compare it to what you're familiar with as a child. So a 6-year-old you see that mom, when she come in the door, she run, get the baby get all the love. The oldest get the conversation. When you come out the room, it's go on, clean up. Go on. Hey, I ain't got time for you. What you process is they don't love me. You're 6. Now as an adult, I want you to process that. I want you to give it the benefit of the doubt. And the reason you're not giving it a lie. What you're doing is telling the enemy, you can no longer have me hating someone or feeling less than because that person didn't know how to love me. So therefore you look at it for what it is. Okay, she's tired. The baby needs attention. She gets off work. She works all day. The baby needs attention. Okay, the oldest, they're always going to have this special bond with their parents. I don't know what it is. It's a lot of the load of just being the adult. The oldest is supposed to be like the adult. Well, it wasn't like that in my household. The oldest, he was like the kid in my household. I'm the middle child, so I was like the adult. But when it came to the middle child, when it came to me, I didn't get that love. I didn't get that hey. I didn't get that hug, and I was the only girl. I didn't get any of that. What I got is go clean up. I got get out my face. I got this. She was always frustrated with me. As me, I processed, you don't like me, you hate me. However, as an adult, now that I healed and went through the healing journey, I had to process that, no, she didn't hate me. Her projection of everything that happened to her outside of that world, she had to put it off on somebody, and she chose me. She chose me. Because one, she didn't have to check on me much because I'm strong. I can take care of myself. She knew that. She knew that I can put more weight on her than I can the boys because I know she'll get it done. I'm more responsible. So the enemy, what you're trying to do is get me to hate my mother. I'm not going to hate my mother because she didn't know how to properly love me. What I'm going to do is allow her to learn her lesson or live her life or be who she is, but I'm not going to live a life of hate and blaming and you did and you didn't do. I forgive her. I don't have to run to her and say, I forgive you. I forgive her. And I understand as a child, I was 6. And now as an adult, I can say she does love me. She do love me. She just didn't love me the way that I needed to be loved. And the reason why she didn't is because she never really got to know me. Do you understand? So that's what the healing journey is. So now that I identified that I had abandonment issues, now those same energies don't come to me anymore. I was able to close that gate because I acknowledged it and I released it and I healed it, closed the gate. Now the next issue is, okay, now what's the other issue? Whatever other issue there is in your life, okay, well, why does this keep happening? Why do people keep trying me? Well, let's look within. Why do people keep trying you? What in you is attracting that person to feel like they need to try you? Well, here's an example. Because you have light in you. The spirit of light is in you. Your spirit is upsetting their spirit, causing chaos with their spirit. So in their spirit, guess what they're doing? They're freaking out. Every time you come around, they irritate and they try you. And the reason why they try you is because they know, their spirit know that you're not going to fight them. Not that you're not afraid. Their spirit know that you're not going to fight them because you are the light. You are the light. The light is truth. The truth is God. So it tries to disrupt you. If I can get you to shut off your light, then you'll react. And therefore, the enemy can keep you from. But we're going to close that gate. Because I'm not going to let you try me again. Now I'm going to create boundaries. Oh, you think you're going to come over here and start crying? No. The gate is closed. I disconnect. I know my self-worth. I know who I am. Now let's look at the tunnel. The tunnel is problems. We're in the tunnel. As you're in the tunnel, you didn't see any light. But now as you start to heal, you start to see the light because you realize you are the light. You don't need light. You don't need the natural light because you are the light. That's what you have to remember. As I tell people, you are the eclipse. The moon tries to cover up your light, your sun. You are the sun, right? You are the light. The moon passes on by and tries to bring darkness. Baby, but you still shine through. Matter of fact, you shine brighter. How do you shine brighter? Just like an eclipse, right? You can't look up at an eclipse with your natural eyes. It's going to damage. Do you understand? So no matter what kind of darkness comes into your life, you're still going to shine bright. You're still going to defeat the enemy. Enemy look up at you, baby, their eyes hurt. They can't deal. You too much. So now you close that gate. Those same energies, no one's trying you anymore. When you walk in the room, it's quiet. See, before when you used to walk in the room, they would roll their eyes and do all this. Now when you walk in the room, baby, they straighten up their back. They start fixing their hair. They start, take the camera out on their phone, act like they're on the phone, but they really on the camera trying to see a mirror. Yes, that's you reclaiming your authentic self. Now let's get into the next part. Then what? Then what? What's after that? After the survival mode and the healing journey, then what? It is purpose, power, a healed leadership, meaning that you've evolved. After you heal, there's your final step. That is evolving. That is stepping into the person God created you to be. Unapologetically. You listen, it does not matter what happened. I don't care. Matter of fact, nothing shakes you anymore. You walk outside, you don't worry about if somebody looking at you, talking to you crazy. You're not trying to compare yourself to anyone anymore. You move with authority. That's it. When you speak, it means something. Your voice is what the world needs. Now I speak differently. I've always been a leader. I've always had a strong, powerful presence. I've always had this, I used to stay quiet a lot because people would say I always spoke with like an attitude, or like, they would take it so hard. Like, why are you talking to me like that? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I always spoke direct, very direct. So I would shut myself down, but that was the enemy trying to make me feel like, no, you the problem. I wasn't the problem. It's just that the darkness could not stand the way I spoke. They said, you arrogant, you cocky. What? Me? But I didn't know my self-worth. I didn't understand what the enemy was telling me when he said you cocky and you arrogant. I didn't know the enemy was telling me that, hey, you need to pipe down. You too big to be over here, so we're going to bring you back down to our level. I didn't understand the low vibration, high vibration. See, one thing about low vibration and high vibration, what happens is when you step into high vibration, once you leave low vibration, you step into high vibration, right? What happens is it's kind of like the crabs in the bucket. You decide, you find a way to get out without being pulled back down, and you get out of the bucket. See, the people that's in the bucket don't know what it's like to be free and outside of the bucket. You do, though. You know, and you can speak low vibration. You can live in a bucket with others, and you can be free outside the bucket with others, but everybody else can't. Same way with low vibration, high vibration. Once you step into high vibration, those conversations, they can't come up where you are and have a conversation because they don't understand the language, but you understand their language. And you understand your new language. And that's why it's so important when you go through your healing journey, when you evolve, the generational curse breaker is not about going back for the whole family and bringing them out of poverty. Because what you're doing, think about it. You went back in the crab of buckets to grab somebody out. You grab one and the 12 are going to grab you, bring you back down. That's not how the generational curse breaking go. What you just showed them that it is possible to get out that bucket. It is very possible to get out that bucket. It is possible to be the best version of you. It is possible for you to succeed. It is possible for you to do the right things and see better than more than what they told us that all will be is crabs in the bucket. It is possible to be more than just that. That's your job here for the people that's here. The generational curse breaker is to show them that we can do it. You can do it. Not to go back and pull them out. Let me tell you something. You go ahead as you get to where God needs you to be and you reach back and pull them up. Baby, let me tell you something. They're going to be dead weight and you're going to be pulling. You're going to be tired. You're going to be pulling. You're going to be tired. You're going to keep pulling and they're going to be dead weight. They're not going to put any effort of trying to help climb. They're not going to say, hey, let me carry my own bags. They're not going to say, hey, I'll climb up here by myself. They're not going to do anything of that because what they think that they're doing is living a luxury lifestyle. So this is how you're not supposed to put in any effort. I'm just supposed to be just like this. I'm supposed to wake up like this. They don't understand that, listen, you are where you are, but they don't know the fight that you went through. They don't know the many times that you laid on that floor. They don't know how long you cried. They don't know what you all had to go through. They don't know any of those things. They don't even care because they're the fake it to the make it. Therefore, they're living a luxury lifestyle on your back. And then when you get them up there, guess what they're going to say? It's supposed to be me anyway. Before the thank you. They get up there and they look around like, you living like this? I mean, I thought you would have had a big, big house. I thought you would have had all this. I thought you would have had all that. Man, I'm telling you, this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm about to, listen, now that I'm here, you notice there's no thank you. Now that I'm here, I'm about to do it big. I'm about to invest in myself. I'm about to do this. They never not one time invested in you. They're about to do this. They're about to do that. No, they're going to do all that for them. Because their whole job was to destiny swap with you. It's just a problem. When they got to where you are, they realized that, okay, finally here. Okay, I'm finally here where you're supposed to be. But now I got to do better than you. Now the competition starts. Do you understand they're going to take from you, take from you, take from you? So you end up back in the crab in the bucket. But baby, they're never going to come back for you. They're never going to come back for you. They're never going to speak highly of you. They're never going to say thank you. Never, none of that. They're never going to say, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for. If I didn't badmouth my sister or my brother, I wouldn't be here. If I didn't dog this person out, I wouldn't be here. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, man, they're not even going to listen. The honor to God is going to come later on in their conversation. Man, I'm telling you, I did this. I grind. I got it out the mud. Man, I just thank God didn't no haters come. That's the thanks God gonna get. Do you understand? So stop worrying about trying to break the generational curse to bring others up. You show the example of you can do this. You take 100% and pour into yourself. And then you pave the way for those babies that you ain't had yet, or the babies, the grandbabies, the great grandbabies. You pave the way for them, because generational wealth is not about money, tangible money. It is not. It is about wisdom and knowledge. Do you understand? It is about wisdom and knowledge. If I have the wisdom and knowledge, I can maintain the energy, meaning that I'm not going to worry about the enemy getting here. The whole purpose is to defeat the enemy. The generational wealth is to defeat the enemy. You will get your inheritance by defeating the enemy. How do I defeat the enemy? By healing and operating in purpose. Teaching your generations to come about love. Love. Love is what the inheritance is. Love is what the peace is. You can't love, you have to become love. Love is the highest gift of all. Love is God. You have to become love. And that's what you're going to teach your kids. That's how you defeat the enemy. You follow the love. If there's no love there, I don't care how long you've been married or in a relationship or whatever. If there's no love there, there is no you. Follow the love. You have to become love. If that person hasn't become love, what they showing you? The 5 love languages of what the enemy, the world has told us that, hey, these are the ways that you love people. Agape, unconditional, conditional, 5 love languages, love this, learn how to love the surrounding, learn how to. No, love is the highest gift of all. Love is God. You have to become it. The kingdom of God is within you. You have to become it. Yeah, greatness is within you. You have to become it. You have to become peace. You have to become the fruits. You have to become joy. You have to become these things. It's not an action that you give to someone or you do for someone. No, you have to become it. Meaning that when you walk into a place of business or any, they feel the love. It's just something about you. When I walk into someone's home, I bring love. When they come into my home, they feel peace. When I walk in the darkness, when I walk into a dark room, I light it up because I am light. Yeah. That's the then what? Purpose, power, and healed leadership, which causes you to what? Evolve into who God created you to be. Now listen, you know you're going to get homework with me. So living authentically. I'm going to give you a declaration. I am unapologetically me. That's it. I am unapologetically me. That's it. That's what I want you to say to yourself. So your journaling prompt is, where have I been hiding or shrinking? That's what I want you to journal about. Where have I been hiding or shrinking? And then I want you to meditate. What does my authentic self look and sound like? Meditate on that. And then I want you to write a paragraph, just a paragraph, a 1-paragraph promise to live freely. It is, I want you, this is what the title is going to be. My authentic self manifesto. My authentic self manifesto. A 1-paragraph promise to live freely. Listen, I give you guys free healing gems, journaling. Everything that I do is for you to heal. You can't go around and say, I'm just tired. And it's like I'm just not getting ahead, or it's like I can't. But you're not taking heed to what I'm teaching. Just because right now this, where have I been hiding or shrinking? You look at it like, yeah, that's a good idea, but you don't put any effort into it to really think or journal it. See, that opens up a door, a small little window, because now it gets you thinking about you. The problem is always going to be there. The problem is the tunnel, the dark tunnel. You have to remember that you are the light, meaning that whatever's in your life that's hurting you, you have the power to walk away from it. But in order to walk away from it without feeling drained, feeling dead on the inside, you have to heal it. A lot of you go through divorces and breakups, and we do it. This is what we do. We're humans, and we freak out because we're in survival mode. We're in survival mode. We're not emotionally intelligent, right? We're not emotionally intelligent. So in survival mode, break up someone. I love you. You leaving? I'm supposed to be heartbroken because that's what the world said. Every podcast you listen to, yeah, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. And I heal because he hurt me so bad. She hurt me so bad. And I heal. And I just went to the gym and I beefed up and I did this. And look at me now. And I wish he would. That's not healing. That is revenge. Healing is understanding that, wait, why am I so hurt? And why can't I function? Why can't I operate because this person left me? How did they get that much power over me? What is going on with me? Why am I so attached? Don't go into the whole mindset, because it's a soul tie. Shut up. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Only thing that can tie to you if you allow it to tie to you. Meaning that you stay in survival mode. But in the heal mindset, why do I feel this way? It's so hurt that this person left me. Well, let's talk about it. Let's go back to your childhood. You were so used to always having to give your things up, whether to share with your siblings, your mama yelling at you saying, let them have it, let this have it, or bullied, people taking from you. It became a control thing, right? Nobody's ever going to take anything from you. What I love is I love. You pour so much love into that relationship because you didn't get that love poured into you as a child. So now you pour so much into that, it became a control thing. You have to unravel all of those things and realize and understand that, wait, the love that I was giving you is the love that I wanted someone to give me. And then you start to realize that person never gave you that love. You went extra hard for him or her. See, you start to unravel things. And that's how you take your power back. I call all my power back. Let me explain something to you with that. I call all my power back from every dimension and listen, if I gave it, whatever you got of mine, keep it. Because I'm like the power company, baby. You plugged into me. You plugged that iPhone into me. I gave you 100% charge. You showed your behind. You went out there. You cheated. You did whatever you wanted to do. Baby, you have to remember you're going to have to need energy for that phone again. Now, with the iPhone, you get a longer battery life, I guess. Right? So you finding ways to preserve that energy. They finding ways. They putting it on airplane mode when they not around the internet. They doing all type of Wi-Fi. They doing all type of things to preserve the energy. Now, when that energy run low, when they get at that reminder 20%, they like, no, I'm still good. I'm still good. When they get at that 10%, they still out there acting a fool. When they get at that 5%, it's kind of like they start easing back a little bit, looking at your social media, trying to say, hey, big head, text, things like that. But baby, when they get to that 2%, 1%, they at your door with they spin a night bag. They at your door talking about, I'm sorry. But the problem is you identified and understood that, hey, you're nothing that's for me. Now you looking at them like, now why? Now that I understand that it was a control thing on my part, it was me. I had to fix me. I had to do some self-awareness and self-healing. So now you looking at them like, what was I doing with you? Oh my God, you gonna tell people you know me. Ooh. Oh no, don't tell nobody you know me. I'll pay you to tell people you don't know me. That's because you've woke up. The things in survival mode that you want, what happens in survival mode when you start to heal is the things that you want. When you start to heal, you realize that I don't have an appetite for that. Wait, I am the power. So no, I don't want anything back. I'm not calling back any of my power because it'll come back tainted. So that same person that when he got to that 1% or she got at that 1%, she's at your door and they on your phone. No, it's tainted. You already know the problems that's coming with that. So why do I want it back? Keep it. You just can't get any more. That's where you learn to create boundaries. That's what healing is all about. So remember, you're not unmotivated. You're in survival mode. You're not just depressed and anxiety. You're just in survival mode. You're not confused. You're in survival mode. You're in survival mode. Confusion, that's the wilderness. You're in confusion. And the reason why you're in confusion, because you're operating, trying to process a God-blessed opportunity in a survival mindset. So here it is. You're being called to step into healing, But yet you're trying to figure out healing from a survival mode, from a survival mindset. You cannot operate anywhere in a God's present or a God opportunity or anything God bless from a survival mindset. You can't take anything of this world and take it into the spiritual realm. Do you understand? When you heal, it is spiritual. It is nothing about the whole physical world. You can't go into the spiritual world looking for, God, I want to make all the millions and go into hustle mode. You can't do that. You have to go into purpose mode, meaning that God is going to tell you and order your footsteps to do his job. And you realize it's not about me. You cannot be over in the healed mindset, operating from the survival mindset. You cannot. You have to realize that it's not about you. It's not about you. Once you understand that what you're going through has nothing to do with you and everything to do with God's purpose, God's reasoning, God, once you realize that, then you've mastered the healing. Nothing phases you anymore. You don't just let anybody into your energy because you understand how powerful you are. Because God is with you. You operating. Listen, it's like God delegating authority to you. Think about on a job when the manager's not there, you in charge. Delegated authority to you. When you step into purpose, God delegate authority to you. You become powerful. When you at work, you delegated authority, the manager gone, you in charge, guess what you're going to do? Everybody's going to respect you because they know what position you in. Same way with God. When you step into healing, when you step into purpose, they understand, oh, snap, we know who that is. Let me go ahead and salute right now. I don't like her, but I got to respect her because it's not about you. Everything is about God. And sometimes the hurtful things that people do to you, right, that they'll try to do now that you healed is not hurtful to you. It's the lesson for them. Because a lot of people miss their God-blessed opportunities because of jealousy, envy, and hate. And you were the one to teach them that lesson. To teach them how. Listen, you got out of the crab of the buckets. To show them how and to navigate them how. But they became envious and said, I'm going to be you. That's what they did. So listen, as always, if no one told you today, I'm telling you now, I love you and I am so proud of you. I want you guys to continue to keep up the good work and I want you guys to continue to follow me. Follow me here. Subscribe here to my podcast, Chat with Coach Nye, my YouTube, Chat with Coach Nye. I'm doing a Power Within teaching. I've done 2 episodes so far, so it's in the playlist of the Power Within leadership course. My username for YouTube is Chat with Coach Nye. You can catch me on TikTok. Everywhere you find me at on social media is Chat with Coach Nye. I go live on TikTok and I teach over there. I am on Twitch as well. I do a one stream to all my platforms. So mainly YouTube, and I'll be doing a whole master class over there. So you guys get ready. It's all about me teaching and showing you. Check out my website. Go subscribe to my website so you can get the notifications when I put out new material that you guys can get to help you along with your healing journey. So it is tofbootcamp.com, okay? tofbootcamp.com. I do believe all my stuff is updated in my profile, so go check that out. So you guys have an amazing day or amazing rest of the day. Coach Nye out.